So last week when I was filming my best holiday gift giving video, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I did like a stocking stuffer video? And then I realized there was nothing stopping me from doing that. Hello and welcome to Nelson All Over. I'm Nelson and today we are talking about stocking stuffer games. These are board games that can fit in stockings or very small, that can fit in like a purse or a pocket, that are pretty easy to take on the go but still have some significant and fulfilling gameplay. Every single game that I'm recommending is currently in this stocking. So they all fit. You can fill up a stocking with board games and that's going to make for somebody very happy. But let's just dive into it, and we're going to talk about them as we go. Alrighty, so let's just see what's up first. We've got Hanabi. Hanabi is designed by Anthony Bauza and published by R&R Games. In Hanabi, you are working with all of your friends cooperatively to put on the best fireworks show you possibly can. It has a really cool gimmick. So with Hanabi, your hand of cards, you cannot look at your hand of cards. You're going to be holding them backwards so that everybody else at the table can see your cards, but you cannot. The object of the game is to play the cards then in ascending order in each of the different suits. You do this by giving out information using these clue tokens for other people's hands, and then they have to blindly play cards. So it's a test of how well you can communicate with your team and try and get that high score and get fives across the table. This game is quick, it is very fun, it's easy to carry, and what I love about the game is how you grow with your team. You feel like you actually learn every single time you play the game, and your group develops a meta on how they're giving clues, and it really feels like every time you play you get slightly better, which is just so fulfilling. Alrighty, it is time to dive in for our next game. Let's pull it out. We've got Scout. In Scout, players are working to put on the best circus act they possibly can. This game also has a really cool gimmick where whenever you are dealt your cards, you are not allowed to rearrange the cards in your hand. You're going to be playing different circus acts, which are basically just tricks or hands that you can play on the card. You want to play like pairs or multiple of one card, or maybe a run of a card, and you're trying to beat the previously played hand or trick. I'm not quite sure what they call them, sorry. But so if someone lays down maybe two twos, your job is to play something that beats those two twos. That could be like two threes, that could be three fives, that could be a 2-3-4, which would be a run. And because you cannot change how cards are organized in your hand, they have to be played from adjacent spots in your hand. If you cannot beat the current trick, what you will do is you will take one of the cards that is from the current trick and put it anywhere in your hand. This gives you a little bit of freedom of manipulation. So if you have like a 4 and a 2, you can pick up a 3, slide it in there, and then give you a straight of a 4-3-2 that you can play on a future turn. This makes it a little bit easier for the next person to beat the current trick, but that is how the game flows. It is very puzzly. It's some very interesting mechanics. It's, the size of a deck of cards. So highly recommend Scout. Really think that this one has a lot of replayability and that I'm hoping that you will enjoy this one because I really, really do. Alrighty, let's see what else our stocking has to offer. We'll dive in. We've got a big box this time, and it is Mountain Goats, designed by Stefan Rizhas and published by Board Game Tables. Now, Mountain Goats is a really clever game that I picked up just a couple months ago at Gen Con. This game, you are controlling a faction of mountain goats. You're controlling a bunch of different mountain goats that are all different colors, and they're all working to make their way up different numbered mountains. The way that this game works is on your turn you will roll 4 dice, then you need to separate those dice into groupings from 5 to 10, where the sum of the group of the dice determines what mountain your goat will progress up. So in this example, let's say I rolled a 5, a 6, and a 3. I could separate the 5s and move twice up the 5 mountain, or if I combine the 5s, that could be once up the 10 mountain, and then the 6 and the 3 could be combined to move myself up the 9 mountain. or there's a ton of combinations that can happen. Once you reach the top of a mountain, you get a point token that corresponds with the difficulty of climbing that mountain. So like once you get to the top of the 7 mountain, you get a 7 point token. And so the goal is to get to the top of the mountain, get those points, but if someone else gets there, they knock you all the way back down to the bottom of the mountain, and you have to start that long trek back up. It's a really easy game to pick up and play. It's a great social lubricant, and I love having this game on the table for that chatty group where the focus of the table is not necessarily the game. It is a fun game to focus on, but it is one that also just facilitates a great environment for a conversation, and that's why I love Mountain Goats. Alrighty, there's some more stuff in there. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, this next one I cheat. So instead of actually saying a game that I recommend for a stocking stuffer, I am actually recommending a company or a publisher. Button Shy Games makes a ton of these games that all fit within this wallet size holder, and they're all like a deck of about 18 cards, and the gameplay is phenomenal. So this Sprawlopolis, I said it incorrectly in a previous video, I said Scrawl, it is Sprawlopolis, is a cooperative game where you're building a city based off different requirements that you get at the beginning of the game. And then Skulls of Soldek is a competitive game where you are drafting different cards and building them out into a pyramid type structure where every single one of the different factions scores differently. If I had to choose one of these games to recommend, it would be Skulls. And that's because I think the gameplay here is very, very deep for such a simple component game. I'm not going to say simple mechanics. It does have some really good mechanics, but for components, it is very, very straightforward and easy, but it provides a lot of fulfilling gameplay. On your turn in Skulls, what you can do is one of 3 things. You can take any of the face-up cards among the 6 piles, or you can flip 2 cards face up, take one of those 2 cards, or you can play a card that you have previously drafted from your hand. When you're playing them into a pyramid shape, and every single faction scores based off of where they are in the pyramid. So like the priest want to be on their own level of the pyramid, looking at it horizontally, while the criminals would like to be next to the priest as they look for redemption in the afterlife. The lovers want to be buried next to each other, and then the royals want to be on top of everybody. It just provides a really strategically deep game for a deck of cards that fits in my pocket and is just a great stocking stuffer. Button Shy Games has a significant portfolio of these. I'm sure that whatever you will grab, you will have a great time with them, but these are the 2 that I have played so far, and these I highly recommend. One more. I feel one more in here. Let's see what we got. This last one is A Fake Artist Goes to New York. So A Fake Artist Goes to New York is also developed by Oink Games, and it is a social deduction drawing game. What that means is at the beginning of the game, there's going to be one fake artist that is trying to figure out what everybody is drawing while everybody else is trying to figure out who the fake artist is. What you need to do on your turn is there's going to be a word that everybody is drawing that the fake artist does not know, and you need to draw one line on a collective piece of paper. Then you go around in the circle a couple of times where everyone adds on to the drawing. The object of the game is for everybody to try and guess who the fake artist is by maybe they drew a line. Say we're doing a lion. Say the lion is what we're drawing, and the fake artist draws something completely random that does not look like a lion. That's going to alert everybody that, hey, maybe this person over here is the fake artist. Now, you cannot be too obvious with what you're drawing, because if the fake artist figures out what everybody is drawing, then the fake artist wins. So it's a very fun game for large gatherings. It plays about 5 to 10 people, and it works great for people who are really deep into games or have not played a lot of games before. I think this game is a really good one that can bridge the gap of all types of skill and experience levels. A Fake Artist Goes to New York is another really small box. Excellent stocking stuffer for the holiday season. So there you have it. Those are my suggestions for stocking stuffers for 2022, I'm sure I will have more as they come out. What I've learned is I really like these small box, small footprint type games that still provide the strategic depth that I'm looking for in a lot of my gameplay. What are some of your suggestions? Because I have realized that I do really like these types of games, I'm really looking forward to hearing what you have to say and what some of the ones that I may have missed that you highly recommend. Let me know in the comments what those are. If you enjoyed this video, I do weekly board game content, and I would love for you to follow along and hang out and journey together as we dive in deep to board games. Thank you so very much for hanging out. Hope you have a fantastic holiday season, and I will see you around. Happy gaming.